introduce you all to Emma. Emma, we've never met either, but we've kind of had this, ongoing chats and conversations and Zooms and phone calls and getting to know each other. And I said to her, I'd really like her to come and join us this evening to basically tell her story, which is quite fascinating. So Emma, perhaps you'd open up your mic and everybody else can lock theirs down, and we'll just switch over to Emma. Don, could you close yours, please? You have. And Emma, if you come and talk to me, that should open up your mic. Say hi.
Hello.
There you are. Great. Good. Now we can see you. So fantastic. So Emma is basically. Yeah, this is why we need to shut the other mics down.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Give me a second.
We can get it down.
Close off
and then you got the door for it too, right?
It's always a challenge when we're recording. Just a moment. I think I've got everybody for the time being. Right. Sorry. Let's start again. So Doug's off. Right. So Emma. Yeah, Emma's just qualified this last month as to gold rank in record speed. It's a fantastic achievement. Well done. But I'd like to take you back, if I may, to the early beginnings of your start with Immunotech. How did that happen? What happened? How did you get involved?
It's a really interesting story, actually, Scott. So I've got 3 children and I'm a single mum. And my middle child, Lewis, has spent the last 18 years of his life fighting a brain tumour. And he also has hydrocephalus and he has drug-resistant epilepsy. So life at home is quite challenging. And as a result, I couldn't work. So single mum at home, no work, and a very sick child. So Lewis is actually a bit of a celebrity and he loves sharing his life and his challenges being disabled. And what that has meant is he's got a big following. So he's got 50,000 Facebook followers. He's got a TV show. He's got a book. And from that, he gets lots and lots of emails from people trying to help or want to get to know him. And what we actually one day got this incredible email from an amazing woman called Lorena, who I'm so glad is with us this evening because she is the reason that my life changed forever. And it's funny how through the thousands and thousands of emails that Lewis gets, this one email that Lorena sent really stood out. And she told me about this product called Immunical. And she said that it could help Lewis. And of course, in my very English nature, I was very skeptical and didn't believe a word. But Lorena kept on making contact with me, and Lewis developed eczema. And it was one of the most horrific eczemas the doctor said they've ever seen. It was his skin, you couldn't see the skin. It was that bad.
Wow.
So Lorena said to me, try Immunical with Lewis. It could help his overall health, help his immune system, help his eczema, help everything.
Yeah.
So, in true English way, I ignored her. And you just thought it's all rubbish. And then we took it was on Lewis's bucket list to go to Vegas. Right. So we filmed Lewis because he has a lot of social media followers and he films everything. And we put a picture of us at Heathrow Airport getting on a plane to go to Vegas. When we landed, Lorena had driven for 12 hours from Texas to Vegas. And she was standing there with her team, Helena, and other people from her Immunotech team to welcome us.
Wow.
And to give us the product. It was incredible. It was the most amazing and welcoming and most genuine kindness, and it shone through that Lorena genuinely wanted to help us. So I started to take the product myself and started to feel more energized, feeling more youthful, you know, running around after kids. And I thought, okay, I'm going to give it to Lewis. 3 months after taking it, his eczema had gone. It was absolutely incredible because he was under the consultation of the hospital, and he was having steroids and creams and wet wraps. And I was spending hours every day wrapping him. But after 3 months of Immunical, his eczema had gone. It was so. After experiencing this, I just had to tell everyone. Sure. And Lorena showed me how I could actually make some money from it, make a living for myself. So I fell in love with the product. I fell in love with my team. I'm very lucky that I've got Helena and Lorena, such an amazing team who helped educate me and support me. And as you said, Scott, within 6 months, I'm now gold, and my team's growing, and I'm just loving it so much. I'm able to be a great mum, stay at home with the kids, earn money to provide for my family, and best of all, our health is amazing. You know, it really is fantastic. And I think the way we fell into it, and Lorena's passion, and actually the genuine spirit of genuinely wanting to help me as a mum have a living, you know, earn money, and also help Lewis from his health. I think it's incredible. And it's a reflection of the whole Immunotech family, everyone we've come across, yourself, Scott, the support you give me, my team. I know Dee's on the call tonight. Dee became silver in her first 4 weeks. Yeah. She, you know, I'm very, very blessed with an incredible team, and it just feels like a family. It's amazing.
Did you have some experience of business before you got involved with this? I mean, it's great skill to be able to develop your team that quickly. What do you think it was down to? I mean, you have some skills or contacts, or how did you do that?
I think it helped Lewis being in the public eye, so people would believed what we were saying. And Lewis is well known for being very honest about his health. He's well known for saying the good and the bad. So for Lewis and myself to say it works, people really believed it worked, because it does. And I think the other thing is we went into it as a family. Yeah. It really, really, really was a family effort. All 3 of my children are consultants, and my youngest daughter, who's 18 next week, has just become silver, because they can see what an impact. So I think that's why it's become so successful, because we did it as a family, we did it together, and we've enjoyed it. And I think that's why it's really worked for us. So
this is you achieving gold.
Yeah.
This is literally gone up today, so it's very exciting. And you know, moving on, there's a picture of the Hine family in total. Yeah. So this is Lewis on the right, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then is it Jessica's in the middle?
Jessica's on the end.
Oh, Jessica's on the end, and Chloe's in the middle.
Yeah, and it's funny, they've all sort of looked at the business and found ways it fits in with their lifestyle. So Jessica at the end, she knows a lot of young footballers and people that are into athletics and the gym. So she sells, you know, based on those sort of factors and how that can help. Whereas Lewis obviously knows a lot of people that need their immune system boosting. So that it's funny how they focus on different things, but I think it's what works for them. But I do find that doing it as a family, we all take the product, we've all benefited from it. And I think when personally you actually feel how it helps, it makes it so much easier to share your story and share, you know, the benefits of it. I think that's us, why we've been successful.
Absolutely. And while you're mentioning, you see, it's very interesting. So from Lewis's perspective, you know, he's had a great result in terms of his health. With what Chloe's doing with the footballers, that's very interesting because, you know, we're associated with Oreco, ORRECO.com. Now that's they're basically working science of helping professional athletes to optimize their performance. I mean, in first division footballers in Chelsea, in the UK, the soccer players, just for the Americans listening in. So then we've got Nottingham Forest Football Club, we've got Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. I've got certain players that are actually been taking the product for quite a long time. Now these guys are multi-millionaires and they're elite athletes that are running around making fortunes for their clubs and for the football industry. So, you know, it speaks volumes about the product that it's got to that kind of level. And we have an interesting proposition for elite athletes where we can actually sponsor them with products, okay? We do that in the UK and Ireland. And so anybody that has connections with elite athletes, you know, let me know because we can help them to get on board by sponsoring them with products. So back to your story, because I just wanted to fill that bit in. The next slide here is the picture of obviously what happened to Lewis. And you can see very clearly. Talk us through that, Emma, will you?
So the picture at the top of his eczema, and that's not actually at its worst, although it looks quite nasty. And it also covered the whole of his back and his legs as well. So it was quite extreme. And it would require hours of wrapping in wet wraps every night with steroid cream. And after years of hospital treatment, it just was not getting better. On the right, you can see after 3 months on Immunical, the difference. And also what speaks louder to me is the smile on his face.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's delighted.
It really, really is, because it's such a painful condition.
Yes, yes.
It really is. I mean, Lewis is actually half robot. He's got pumps in his brain and he's got battery packs in his chest. And, you know, he is half robot, but that didn't seem to bother him. What bothered him was his eczema. And to be able to sort that for him as a parent was priceless. You know, I do think of Lorena as my guardian angel. She was definitely sent to watch over.
We're going to have to speak to Lorena in a minute, but I just want to keep on this for a moment. So that pictures were taken 3 months afterwards.
Yeah.
How long ago was that now?
So that was about a year ago now.
Right, and how is he now?
He's the same. He
Really?
has got clear skin. In fact, he had a hospital appointment recently, and his consultant she was like, she couldn't understand it. So we told her all about Immunical and what he'd been taking, and you know, she was absolutely impressed. She was fascinated.
Yeah, I'm sure. So now we've got Jessica is qualified this also last month as a silver. So you know, it really is growing, isn't it? And we can see the whole family's involved. So what's Jessica's secret? What's she done to achieve her status as well?
Jessica's enjoys it because she's at college, so it's something that she can do to earn money around her studies. So she really enjoys that. And I think Jessica's secret is she just talks to everyone. Mm-hmm. She's funny. She says she doesn't know how to sell, and that's because she doesn't ever sell, and that is the key to it. You know, she just literally tells people about it and tells people how it's helped us, and you know, how it can help them. So I think Jessica's key is just talking. That's all she does all the time.
Right. Okay. And so is Lorena still with us there? I don't know if she's stayed on the call. I can't see her now. There she is. So maybe you'd like to introduce Lorena to us, Emma, would you?
It would be my pleasure to introduce Lorena. So, Lorena Dana, she is my guardian angel and has changed my family's life forever through introducing me to Immunotech. So over to you, Lorena.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Lorena. Good to see you.
I'm in the US. Nice to meet you. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'm so happy. My chest is about to explode to see Emma. You know, I'm so happy for her doing the gold now. And yeah, like she mentioned, our story was, you know, it was when I saw them on Facebook, they were doing a GoFundMe for a prom for disabled kids.
Yeah.
That really got my attention because as a mother, as a single mother, I could never imagine what Emma was going through with Louis from all his life. And also the fact that even though he is very sick, or he was very sick, he had the heart to help other kids. And I said, I need to talk to them. And I said, but in a million years, you know, I'm pretty sure they get like thousands, millions of emails. But I prayed to God that day that I really needed to reach them. In my mind, I wanted to help them and give them that little piece of sand from everything that they've been done for so many kids. So I remember I was in Dominican Republic working with my team over there, and Emma sent me an email, or it was from the messenger, I think, and she says, hi, what are you doing? And we started talking, and I was more excited to hear from her than being in Punta Cana. And after that, you know, we became friends, and I knew from the bottom of my heart that this will be something for them that they deserved and they needed, because I cannot imagine as a mother what Emma has been going through for so many years. And not being able, you know, sometimes to step, you know, away from your son. Like when we were in Vegas, I wanted to invite her for a dinner, for a ladies' night out. And I didn't think about the fact that she couldn't leave Louis for a minute. And she told me, oh, I'm sorry, I have plans with the kids. And I understand. And that day I was reading Louis' book again because, well, he's not here, right? Okay, I was reading Louis' book, and in one chapter he mentions, Mama has been taking care of me my whole life. I'm gonna be 80 years old. She's not able to date. She's not able to go with her friends. And I started crying like you have no idea. You know, because we have no idea, at least me in my personal life, what it is to have a disabled kid and everything that comes with it. But I'm so happy to have her in my life. She's like my best friend. Her oldest daughter came here to the US as well with me, staying almost like 2 weeks. And it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful being able to share Immunotech with them, because like I said, they deserve it from all they've done. And I know we are gonna make it big, because we can and we have to transform lives, because that's the meaning of Immunotech. That's Dr. Bona's mission of life. And one of each of us have to do what he really wanted to do for everybody. Thank you.
You're carrying the torch on. And this is really fascinating for everybody that's listening, because we're going through some changes right now in the company to improve our ability to interface with social media, and you know, trying to get everybody up to speed on how to use their Facebook business page, not just their profile, how to use their LinkedIn pages, and you know, and other parts of, but Facebook and LinkedIn are the two big ones, I think. And you know, when I've been talking to folks I was saying, you know, it's so important that if you connect with people through social media, joining different groups that you have common interest in, that you build relationships first before you possibly talk about business, and come at it with a perspective of heart and soul, not from a monetary perspective. You understand? So developing those relationships, and this story really epitomizes that, Dana and Emma. You know, what you ladies have done as single moms and connecting and having that same mission, it's really shining through, and there's no question about it. It's clear to everybody that it works. You know, and you know, people say, well, it's so difficult to do this business. I don't have time. You know, I've got a family. And then when you hear stories like this, you start to realize that that's just noise. You know, actually, it's about focus, it's about dedication, and about a positive attitude. And I've never really met anybody quite like Emma, in my experience in this industry, and I've been in it a long time. You know, you've got an incredible amount of energy, Emma. I never hear you complaining or moaning. You're always very positive, and it's a credit to you. And I really do appreciate you both being able to come and join us on the call tonight, because it's quite a special event for us. And so thank you. And wouldn't it be nice that we can actually physically meet up again one of these days, you know? It would be great. So lovely. So if this is an opportunity for anybody that'd like to just ask a question, I think of Emma or Anna, if you want to, please just open up your mic and feel free to ask any questions, because this is a great opportunity to focus on these two wonderful ladies.
Hi, Emma. Hi, I'm Patricia. Emma, what did you give your son? Was it one packet of platinum, or was it a regular?
It was, he has blue because he was in end stage renal failure, so he only has blue. And he had 4 sachets a day for 3 months.
Right. That must have been difficult for you, but you found the money to do that. Yeah, it was worth it in the end. It's a wonderful product.
Yeah, it really is. And I had to, we did go without stuff to buy the Immunical, but it was completely worth it. And you can't put a price on Lewis's health, and seeing him pain-free and smiling was worth every sacrifice.
It's the best, for me, it's the best supplement that I've come across. I mean, hi, Wally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to do this before some years ago, but because of funds, I had to stop in 2013, I think. And then I forgot all about it, but it was a friend of mine that took it who actually called me and said, hey, what about that product you used to do? Because it got rid of her diabetes within 3 months.
Well, you know, Patricia, that's fantastic. Thank you so much for inquiring. Now, what I have to put is a little disclaimer here, right? Because we can't say that we cure anything. We have a nutritional product that basically supports the body's natural ability to look after itself. And we're discovering so much more about how by using the correct diet and how by the correct supplementation that our body can heal itself. And effectively, that's what we're doing. We're giving it the right nutrition, enabling it to heal itself. So let's focus on that side of it, because we never make claims it cures anything. Okay. What I'd also like to do is just take a moment to think a little bit about where Lorena, you're not in Texas, right? Whereabouts is your home? It is Texas.
Yes, I live in Texas, right on the border with Mexico.
On the border of Mexico, okay.
Yeah, I live in El Paso, Texas.
Yeah, now, you know, what's also interesting here for everybody is that, you know, one of the things we talk about in our industry is about working locally, but thinking globally. Okay, so because we're not restricted to operate our business in the town or the city or the country we live in, even, right? We're able to expand our business across borders seamlessly and encourage other people to join, get involved, and have the support. And this is, again, a classic story here that you from the United States have reached out to Emma in the UK. Luckily, you met in Vegas. That was amazing. But you needn't have done. You know, the way the technology is now, as we're doing, we're talking on Zoom. You know, we've got 22 people on this call listening from different parts of the world. And it just shows how we can connect with each other very, very easily. And one of the things that's come up this last year or so, since we've had the coronavirus and lockdown and all these difficult situations, is that people have become much more used to using the internet, WhatsApp, email, Zoom, to communicate with each other. So it's not as alien as it was. And, you know, this is something this is a great tool that we have, and an amazing back office system that the company offers to connect and allow people to purchase product wherever we work. Now, this is bringing me on to the next little bit of information I want to share with you. I'm just going to share my screen again if I can remember how to do that. Sometimes I get a bit sort of lost with the techie aspects of this, but let me see. It's somewhere up here. There's a thing that's going to allow me. There it is. And I'm just going to share the screen again. I'll go back to Emma quickly, but I want to flip into this one. Let's see if that works. Yes, it does. Okay, so on this slide there, hopefully you can all see that, right? Yes. Okay, so this is where we are right now. We are currently operating in 11 countries. The most recent one was Ecuador, which opened towards the end of last year. And what we're seeing, interestingly, is a lot of Hispanic people from South America are connecting with people in the UK and Spain. We're seeing tremendous growth in the Hispanic groups and the Latinos. We have people in Ireland and England and Spain that have all made connections back to South America. So this is an illustration of how important it is to reach out to people from your own community, from your own background, your ethnic groups, and reach into other countries. Start at home. Who do you know in your local town? Go onto Facebook, start searching. If you're in Texas, I'd say, right, put in Latino groups in I don't know which town. I think in Austin, let's say Austin, Texas, and you'll see that there'll be groups that you can connect with, build relationships, and ask them, who do they know in Europe? Who do they know in Spain? Now, this next slide I want to show you is a bit of good news. So we're now moving into 2021 and our European expansion plans. So this is the first time we've made an announcement about this evening. You guys get to hear it first. Anybody recognize that flag? Anybody want to tell me where that is? No?
It's Portugal.
Hey, well done, Alejandro. You get the full points. It is indeed Portugal. Portugal is going to be our next country opening in Europe. The actual date is not fixed yet, but I can tell you it's going to be this summer. Okay, so this summer of 2021, be open for distributors and customers. So you'll be able to sign people up in Portugal, and also we will ship their products to them directly. At the moment, we're only shipping products within Spain, the UK, and Ireland. And then that would be great news in itself, but I've got some more news. So we're going to add to that France. France is going to be opening later in the year. but long before Christmas. Okay, so it will be opening later in the year, and it will be open for customers only. So you won't be able to have distributors there, but we will be shipping product from our base in Spain to French customers. So two new countries. Is that enough, or should we do some more, you think? More. Okay, more. Okay. So let's, what about Germany? So we're going to bring in Germany as well. Germany's going to be opening up towards the end of the year. Again, it's an opportunity for you to reach out, find out who in your community speaks German, who they have, maybe has family, friends across there. Start where you are and just start asking those questions. So 3 new countries, not 2 we were promised, but 3. Is that enough? More. So we're adding one more. Finally, we're bringing in Italy. Italy's going to be coming in as well towards the end of the year. So France, Germany, and Italy, we'll be able to register customers and ship to customers. The distributor side of things will be probably coming in the following year. But this is a great opportunity now to really expand into Europe, to reach out to all of these. I mean, the Italian communities in the United States are huge, right? In New York, massive. Germany also. I know in Canada, there's big German communities in Canada. In South America, for sure. So, you know, by networking yourself efficiently on social media, and particularly Facebook, where you can start to make friends in groups, build relationships, and reach out to these people. And I wouldn't be waiting, personally, I wouldn't be waiting until we actually physically open. I'd be making those contacts right now. And I've got some experience of this. My first network marketing company that I ever joined was Herbalife. That's where Don Hutchison and I met a few years back. How long ago was that, Don? I forget, but I think it was 85, maybe 86, a long time ago.
Stop it, Scott. Far too long.
But I got to hear about it because a friend of mine called me that I used to play squash with. And I hadn't spoken to this guy for quite some time. And he said, he called me up and said, I found a way for us to become millionaires. I need to meet you. Now, I mean, that was intriguing to me. So I went for the meeting, and he introduced me to a German guy called Dieter Klander. And that was the beginning of my experience with network marketing. And it was 3 months ahead of Herbalife opening in the UK and Europe. So we were pre-building for 3 months ahead of the actual launch date. So by the time we got to launch date, we had a group between us of 700 people that we put into a meeting room at Heathrow Airport way back when. So what I'm saying, to give you that analogy and that story, is now is the time to start reaching out. Don't wait. Make sure you've got your teams ready to move into those countries, reaching out to everybody they can, friends, family, cousins, aunties, uncles, business associates. Start to look for leaders. That all of these countries are very, very efficient with network marketing. There are other companies operating in these markets. So you're going to find experienced leaders that are going to be fascinated by the story we've got. The product, the compensation plan is really second to none. And, you know, it's going to be a breath of fresh air as we move into those European markets. So I really stress you all to take note of this and start to develop your social media presence more efficiently. Make sure that you've got a business page, not only a profile page on Facebook, and start to focus on connecting with groups in these different languages. Bear in mind, you can communicate with all of them, because if you use Google Translate, you can write a message in English, translate it with the press of a button, and send it as an email out to people. You don't actually have to verbalize and speak the language. You can communicate with them in writing. Once you found yourself a bilingual leader, then you start to develop your business. So again, let's open this up for questions, because I know that you didn't know the detail of this until today. So please feel free to open up your mic and ask some questions if you want to. Silencio.
Scott, can I ask you why we are having only customers in France, Germany, and Italy? It's a question of the software, the Immunotech software, or it's a question of the countries, or what is the reason?
Yeah, it's actually different legislation that we have to get through. Because they're all in the European Union, there are no borders in respect of shipping products from one country to another. But there are local restrictions like there are in the UK, you know. I mean, for instance, in the UK, we have a very special rule, which is a government rule, not a company thing. It's imposed upon us, and all network marketing companies have to follow it, that you can only spend or invest, buy product to the value of £200 maximum in the first 7 days of joining. Okay, so each country has its own rules in terms of what it means to become an independent distributor. So we have to navigate our way through that with the lawyers to get that set up, but it doesn't stop us from shipping product from one country to another. Okay, so Portugal's been very easy because it's a kissing cousin of Spain. Product has already been moving backwards and forwards across the border there quite easily, and now we've got the legislation to open up the distributor base as well. And of course, we've got to have all this translated. We've got to have the right documentation, the legal side of things written up for the distributor agreements. So all that takes a little time, you know. It's been a little bit awkward this year. We were hoping that we could have moved it faster, but you know, a lot of staff in different departments are not working. They're at home. COVID restrictions. There's a number of things that have held it up, but we do know that we will have these countries open up and running this year, which was great news. Thanks for that, Alejandro. Great. Anyone else? I don't mind what it is, you know, because this is great news.
Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Sorry, this is Peter calling from Ireland.
Oh, hi, Peter. How are you doing? Welcome.
I'm good, thank you. And yourself?
Great. Yeah, good.
What's your question? I think this is a great news now coming to Europe. So I just want to find out, because you know, within Ireland and the UK, we have some limited products. Would you have an idea, maybe, if these other 4 countries, if they are going to have more products than we have in Ireland and the UK, like you know, Magistra, Extra Sharp, Calcium, and all other products? We don't have much of them here within Ireland and the UK.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I've got it. So the question is, will we be expanding the product range in Europe fundamentally, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So, you know, again, products that are sold in the countries on the United States side, Canada and South America, etc. There are different rules that apply to the formulations and the packaging and customs. So you'll notice that the products that we have in Europe right now, it says on the packet, it's either coming out of Ireland or it's coming out of Spain. Okay, so again, we have to go through all of these rules and regulations with product being verified for the different markets. The next thing that's important is the quantity of product we ship, because we don't ship a couple of boxes, we ship pallets, huge pallets of thousands and thousands of boxes. Okay, so to make that work cost effectively, we need to have sufficient people in the organization that are buying that cross section of product. Yeah. So
Okay.
the principal products we have right now being Booster, Immunotech, and Immunotech Platinum. That's fine. Once we get momentum going, we can bring in more products because we've got to go through that same process, you understand. So, you know, I'm really keen to do it. And we may well have some news on another product line coming in this year. Sincerely hope so. We're working very, very hard to do that. And of course, we want to bring in as many products from the range as we possibly can. So yeah, we're working on it.
Thank you so much. I think it's a good beginning.
Yeah, it's a great beginning. I mean, you know, listen, you've heard the story of Lorena and Emma this evening. I mean,
sure.
Gone from starting out with nothing to becoming gold in such a short period of time, based on just 3 products. You know, if that could be done by a single mum with all of those difficult situations she has to deal with the family, and you know, it's phenomenal.
So inspiring. I mean, the story is so inspiring.
It is inspiring. It really is. Yes. Thanks for asking. Anyone else like to ask a question?
I would like to ask a question.
Yes, Heather.
My name is Heather. Network marketing and the social aspect of it through what you were saying about with Facebook and stuff like that. Do you guys ever offer like more teaching tools, I guess, so
sure,
we can
absolutely.
utilize our computers better? Like I'm really into the computer, but I have a lot to learn, and sometimes I don't think I can do as much as I could because I don't know how to do it.
Okay, cool question. Very good. Heather, whereabouts you calling in from?
Minden, Ontario.
Minden, Ontario. Wow. How's the weather up there?
It's cold right now. Sunny.
Well, thank you. So you know, the quick answer to that is that if you go onto Google and you type in a question, how do I place an ad on Facebook? How do I make a business page on Facebook? You'll find a lot of people giving little video demonstrations of how to do that for free. Okay, that's the quick answer. When it specifically involves what we're doing, then you know you can either work up through your organization to meet with your gold or diamond or platinum members in your upline who are earning income from your efforts, Heather, and therefore they will be happy to help you put you in touch with the right people to answer your questions. There is some information in the back office. You'll find if you go into your back office and look into there, you'll find some information about it. But I think the best tutorials to get your head around it for the first time is really to get onto the YouTube channels and just type that question in. How do I do this? How do I do that? And you'll find people that will be willing to share their information with you. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I mean, it's for the over sort of 35, 40s, it's a new area for us all. What I've learned in my experience now with social media is that if you just take time to establish your Facebook pages and reach into groups. So if you type up in the left-hand corner of a Facebook page, there's a little search bar. So if you typed up in there, personal trainers in Ontario, or chiropractors or osteopaths in Ontario, people that are kind of, that have private businesses where they have clients, and reach out to them. Say, I've just read your Facebook page. I really like what you're saying. Can I join your group? Don't be tempted to plow straight in with selling products or pushing your opportunity, Heather. Just really connect with these people, find some commonalities, make some friends first, and then once you've got to know people, like it's just like a friendship. Once you get to know people, like Emma and Lorena have done, then you start to know, like, and trust them.
Right.
When you know, like, and trust them, that's the key 3 words. And once you've got that relationship, you can then share your experience with the product. You know, find an opportunity there. Somebody might be saying in the group, oh, you know, we've got a bit of anxiety issues going on. Well, hey, listen, here's a product I take which has helped with my anxiety. Or here's, do you see what I mean? So you introduce it in a very friendly way, like recommending something as a friend.
Okay,
yeah?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. The danger is that very often people will link up with someone on Facebook and immediately try and recruit them or sell them products. So then the sort of the barriers go up, and they think, you know, they don't like to be sold to or pitched about something.
Exactly.
So just think of it from your own perspective, how you would feel, and how you would like to be approached, and that usually works really well.
Well, thank you. You've been very helpful.
Well, good. I hope so. That's what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess. So we've got a couple more. Any more time? We've got some little minutes left. If anybody else would like to ask some more questions, this is what this. Me. Who's me?
Lorena.
Lorena, come back again.
Yes. Hi again. Yeah, one thing that I learned from Eric Worre, you know, the marketing. Talking about what Heather's question, one thing that I learned and I liked a lot that he mentioned was, in this profession, we are farmers. We're not hunters. As soon as somebody feels that once to get them to sell, they're gonna go away. When you're a farmer, you plant the seed, maybe they will tell you no, but there's different no's. There's a no that I don't have money right now. There's a no that I'm thinking about something else. There's a no because it's not the right time. And we have to respect that. And we cannot get mad at that person. And that's one big mistake that a lot of people do, that, oh, they said no, and I'm always buying his stuff and he doesn't want me, you know, sharing the information. So that's one thing that I like a lot. Also, when people feels that you truly care about them, and it's not about the selling, it's not about the money, it's not about the product, it's because you care, you want to give them probably quality of life, because in this pandemic, a lot of people is suffering. You know, a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people has, you know, so many issues, and we have a holistic project that we can fulfill everything. But when people notice that you're working from your heart, everything changes.
Exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. This is so true. And you've proven that point clearly. You know, that's what's happened with you. And it's interesting you mentioned, you know, the pandemic and what that's doing to our economies all around the world. I mean, it's not just local, it's everywhere. So there are a lot of businesses, independent business people that are losing their income, are losing their business, and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to go back to it. They kind of, I mean, it's just very confusing. And this is an opportunity again to reach out to these people with a lifeline and say, look, have you thought about this? You may be restricted with your income and your business, but here's a low cost opportunity that you can increase your profit margin without increasing your overhead. Okay, so for the sake of, you know, less than $50, you can register. You can have an international online shop that's operating in currently 11 countries, soon to be 15. You can have the mentoring, you can have the upline guidance, you can have all of this just for that initial registration. Try the product out, see that it's a great product to be helping people with their health where there's a lot of concerns. I mean, I honestly say that this is probably one of the best times that you could possibly get involved in our industry, and particularly with Immunotech, because we answer both of those main problems right now: health and cash flow. That's clear. So thank you once again, Lorena. We've got time for just a couple more questions. We've got one in writing here from Veronica, who's saying, by customers only, what do you mean? Can we enroll them as consultants, or can they only buy as customers? Talking about France, Germany, and Italy. Well, yes, that's right. And we can't do it yet, as I say. It's going to be later in the year. We will be able to introduce them as customers and ship to them. What you have to do right now is, if you find people in any of those countries, you will buy the product yourself and you pay the shipping costs yourself to ship to them in their country. Okay, so we can only, as a company right now, ship in Spain, Ireland, and England. That's as far as Europe is concerned. So the next country coming on, just to recap, will be Portugal in the summer. We'll be able to ship there, and we will be able to recruit consultants there. Then we move into France, Germany, and Italy. They will be only customers, and we will ship product to them, but not till much later in the year. So in the early stages, between now and say September, October, you will have to find people in either Spain or England or Ireland that can ship product to them. Okay, it's a little bit more awkward, but we're not talking about thousands of people. We're talking about concentrating, like Lorena and Emma's relationship. You focus on one person, you work with that individual to help them build their business, and you start to make inroads into those different countries slowly. One of the things that is worth saying, that a lot of people make a mistake in thinking that they're going to achieve a huge income out of network marketing in the first few months, and that's not the case. It takes time, and you have to think of it as Lorena says, it's farming. It's about that relationship. You have planting your seeds, nurturing the young plants, making sure there's no weeds around, giving them some water and nutrition and feeding them. This same process in our business is nurturing, working with people, helping them to get established. So in your first year, you set your goals to get to sort of go through silver to gold, and then establish those organizations. Really build quality relationships with those people. So you're building 3 or 4 legs, helping those people to build by placing individuals in their teams and consolidating that growth. Then you can expand, okay? And you think of it over a 3 to 5 year period where you should be looking to get your income up to $3,000 to $5,000 or €3,000 to €5,000, £3,000 to £5,000 a month in the first 3 to 5 years. It depends. It all depends on how your organization grows. Beyond that, you can be, there's a lot of people that are on this call and have been on calls, the last 20, 25 years. We've talked to John Solider last week. We talked to Foster Owusu the week before. These guys have been involved in the business a quarter of a century, right? And their organizations runs into the many thousands. But all they're doing to this day is the same thing. They talk to people locally, help their organization grow, and it expands and expands and expands and expands. So think of it as a much more medium to long-term endeavor. Take a leaf out of Lorena's book, build those really quality relationships from the heart and soul. Listening to what Emma said tonight, working with family, being very credible with people, not being salesy at all, coming from a point of view of how can you help them? And I think that's really the key to what we do. That's how we build really successful, strong, solid organizations of committed customers and making great friends. Let's not forget that. You know, we travel around when we're allowed to travel, and we go to some fantastic resorts. We have a lot of fun with people. I mean, I certainly, from my experience, going right back to the mid 80s, I've got some great friends still. Don Hutchinson being one on the line now. You know, we go back over 30 years. You know, and those relationships, we might not always see each other, but you know, it's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Doug, you've joined us. I'd love to hear from you a few words of wisdom, if you'd like to join in on our call, just for the closing remarks.
Well, I have something specific I wanted to share with everybody. Scott, great news, by the way. Yeah, Alejandro, thank you guys so much for the work that you're doing over there. But I just did a quick little bit on the internet, and there's 10 million people currently living in Portugal. So that's going to be 10 million new potential customers and business consultants, business partners available to us by the summer. There's 65 million living in France, 83 million people living in Germany, and another 60 million in Italy, adding another 200 million potential customers that we can now reach out to this year. So,
wow.
You know, it's mind-boggling when you think of, and you know, that's the magic of our industry. You know, we've all had, most of us have had jobs, and you're kind of in a, you know, you're on a road that you can see in front of you. There's structure and there's limits to just about everything you do. You get into network marketing and your mind is almost overwhelmed by the unlimited possibilities of where you can go, what you can do, how you can build it. And like you say, reaching out, making friends with people and sharing a dynamic nutritional product is the one common thread that we have with just about everybody. You know, and the evidence we have, I know we can't make any medical claims, but everybody's thinking COVID-19, and there's a lot of evidence that raising glutathione levels has a significant impact on that. So what a common ground place to start the conversation. Mm-hmm. And millions of people all over our globe that are looking for a product like Immunicol. I mean, if you're looking at this as a business, it's mind-boggling.
Yeah. So Doug, listen, you've got a lot of experience in the industry. You've got a lot of experience with this company. What would be your tips to the folks listening in right now to how to reach out to those other markets? What would you suggest?
Well, those of us who've been in the industry for a while, you would all recognize this quote because it's from the first mentor that I ever really had in the industry. And he's a fairly well-known fellow and responsible for doing a bunch of tapes and books and stuff from back in the day. But he said, I never forgot this, especially when you're new.
Who is it?
You set yourself on fire. What's that?
Who was it? Who is it?
If you set yourself on fire with enthusiasm, people will come from miles to watch you burn.
That's right.
And there's something genuine about that. You know, if you're genuinely excited about what you like, you know that you have your hands on something unique here, something powerful.
Yeah.
You know, now when you're brand new, it's a lot easier to get excited about the product, right? So let that enthusiasm out. Let people know that you have your hands on a phenomenal product. And as you build confidence in the business model that we all work in, then you can let that same enthusiasm roll out into the business. And I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, because when you're new and you've never cashed that check, it's difficult to speak with confidence about the business. So don't worry about that. You know, focus on the product. And if you are running into somebody who wants to know if you can make money, you tell them, hey, I'm pretty new. I'm just getting started here. It's going great so far. But, you know, I know some people that are making serious full-time income and beyond with this company, and borrow someone else's story. But that enthusiasm when you're getting started, I mean, and it's coming from the heart, you just can't package that. That is just worth its weight in gold. And people respond to enthusiasm. So that's one of the first things I would say. If you're new and you want, be yourself, be genuine. I'm not talking fake. Like, I'm not talking, you know, pretend. I'm talking and however you deliver it is perfect. Because we're all individuals, right? We all have our own style, our own methodology, our own way of expressing ourselves. If you do it with enthusiasm and genuine belief, trust me, people will get that message. They will hear, because they know the difference, because they've seen the, you know, they've seen the slippery Sam salesman trying to sell them a new refrigerator and stuff, and they know the difference. They know when you're talking from the heart. So that would be a primary thing. And the other thing is, don't prejudge anyone, right? Like, you could have what we call the chicken list, you know, the people that, okay, well, I'm not talking to them because it's my cousin's lawyer or my doctor, and you can put them off if you're not comfortable, right? But don't prejudge anybody else. I got into this industry. Wally Kralik sponsored me into this, and I was a postmaster. So, hey, I had stuff going on, right? I had 26 dependent offices that I went around and audited. I looked after a whole section of Ontario for the Canada Post. So I'm a corporate employee. I'm signing passport applications. Man, I had stuff going on. Anybody looked at me would never think that I'd be looking for a business opportunity like this. But you can't judge people by what you see, because there's things going on behind that they didn't know about. Like, first of all, my entire family was entrepreneurially minded. I'd grown up at a resort that we owned and operated for 30 years. So I was born and bred to be a businessman and to look after my own business. And what they really didn't know is that I'd been split up and I had child support that was just gobbling up my income from the post office, and I needed some money. I mean, I was shirt and tying it, looking good. They didn't know I was sweating bullets trying to figure out how I was going to make ends meet every month. And when I met Wally Kralik, and he had a good track record in business. He'd been up through the ringer too, though, because he was one of the top, the largest independent clothing retailers in Canada. Very successful businessman, but he'd lost everything too. So he's going into network marketing, and he and I get connected. And I was like, man alive, you can make that much money? Like, I could get myself out of debt here.
Yeah.
And back then they showed me a check. You can't do it anymore. It's called enticement. But they sent me a copy of a guy's check for over $30,000 a month the guy's making.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this check, and it's got somebody else's name on it, but sitting in my office in the post office, it was $35,000 and something. And it says all these other companies talk, but this company really delivers, you know. I'm looking at this check, and after a while of looking at it, the name on it dissolved and it was replaced with my name. Paid in the order of Doug McNabb. And I thought, man, what would your life be like? How much would that change your life if you were cashing a check for over $30,000 a month? And at that moment, like, have you ever been fishing and you know the fish takes the bait and you set the hook? I was hooked. I had to try it. I had to find out if this industry was real. Because if it was, I saw the potential to change my life.
No, Doug,
and it did.
I'm going to invite you to be one of my guest speakers, so don't tell everybody the whole story, okay? And Wally too, because I'm going to invite you guys.
It does work.
I'm going to invite you guys.
It does work, and I'll take it away, Scott.
Yeah, no, that's
all I got to say.
And I'd love to have you on a call, you know, as soon as we can get one done on a Wednesday. That would be great. And we used to call people like you ducks on a pond. Do you ever hear expression? You ever watch ducks on a pond? They're kind of gliding around, looking really cool, but underneath they're paddling away like crazy to keep up with the, you know, the same analogy, isn't it? Thank you so much. And Wally, I want to hear from you, but not tonight. I'm looking forward to hearing your story. I'm going to pass it back to Emma for the closing remarks, because Emma, I really do appreciate you starting this ball rolling tonight. We've had some really great stories there and some great input. So you sign us out tonight, Emma. Just say what you'd like to as we finish.
Thanks, Scott. I just want to thank everyone for, you know, taking the time to listen to my story tonight, because, you know, it does really mean a lot to me, and it has really changed my life. And I'm just so glad that I'm part of the Immunotech family now. Thank you.
We are too. Bless you. So this is being recorded. So I'll have a copy of the recording. If you'd like a copy, just WhatsApp me, and I'll send you one over by email tomorrow. And of course, you're very welcome to pass it on to your organisation. Thank you once again, Emma. Thank you, Lorena. Thank you to Doug, and to all of you that have participated tonight. Really appreciate it, calling in from around the world. And I'm delighted to be here in Europe to support you with Aurelio, who's in Spain. Between the two of us, we're working hard behind the scenes to get things growing over here. And as Doug's rightly said, there's over potential another 200 million people to approach, which is not too bad, is it? You've got to find somebody. So once again, bless you all. Thank you, and speak to you soon. Take care. Good night now. Good afternoon. Good morning, wherever you are. Bye. Bye-bye.